Hello students, we started surface chemistry chapter in our online classes. I shared one video also before. There you have learned the adsorption topic in detail. Complete adsorption topic was there in that video, and also that adsorption I taught in the my online classes also. And we started colloidal solution also in our online class. About the colloidal solution, if I talk, uh, we studied what we mean by colloidal solution, that is the state of solution which cannot pass through a semi permeable membrane and in which the dispersed size particle is between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. And then we read already the types of colloids on the basis of physical state of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. If the dispersed phase is solid, dispersion medium is solid, it is called solid sol. If it is solid liquid, it is called sol, and if it is solid gas, it is called aerosol. Means if the name of the colloidal solution ends with sol, that means it is understood that the dispersed phase is solid in all these. And here in this chapter we have to read solid liquid and liquid only in detail. That means we have to read sol and emulsion in detail. So already we discussed this classification of sol in detail, that is uh, on the basis of interaction between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. We classify sol into two categories, lyophobic and lyophilic sol, and then classification based on the particles of dispersed phase, the size of the particles of the dispersed phase. There we classify the colloids into three types: multimolecular, macromolecular, associated, and then we read the cleansing action of soap in associated colloids. And we also have read about the preparation of colloidal solution, its purification, and then we started properties of colloids yesterday. Now today I will continue with that properties of colloids. A very first property we read about the colloids, that they are heterogeneous in nature. Seems to be homogeneous, like milk, it seems to be homogeneous, similar from top to bottom, but it is heterogeneous in nature. Milk is a colloidal solution, so heterogeneous in nature it is. Then if we see the optical property of a colloidal solution, optical property means the response of the colloidal particle towards the light, optics. So there first we will discuss about its visibility, whether the dispersed phase particles are visible or not. The dispersed phase particles are visible with the help of ultra microscope. Microscope is your ordinary microscope only, in which the source of light is right angle to the viewer and it is very near to the microscope. And the color of the dispersed phase, they are seen with that ultra microscope in different colors. That depends upon the size of the colloidal particle. As I said you, that the colloidal particle ranges between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So if the colloidal particle is of bigger size, means towards the 1000 nanometer, then the its color will be golden color. It will, the with the help of microscope, if we will see ultra microscope, then we will see that the golden particles will twinkle inside the colloidal solutions. But as the size of the colloidal particles will become less, means till 1 nanometer, then the color of the particles will also change from golden to purple, red, like this. So that means the visibility of dispersed phase is possible with the help of a ultra microscope. Secondly, if we talk about its behavior, its response towards the light, then they show one kind of phenomena known as Tyndall effect. Tyndall effect is nothing but it is the illumination, it is the glow of path of light when the light travels inside the colloidal solution, and the light path becomes visible due to scattering of light by colloidal particles. Scattering of light means the light moves in every starts moving in scatters in every direction. So generally the size of the colloidal particles range is between 1 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So the path of the light becomes blue in color when it travels inside the colloidal solution. So this is a Tyndall effect. Then purification already we read. If I talk about the properties of colloids, then there are uh, other properties also other than its response towards the optical behavior, that they are charged. Colloidal particles are charged. Now why they are charged? There are many reasons for their charges. Their method of preparation and their K electron capture. So this all we will read while doing the charge in detail in colloidal particles. Now here only we will discuss that why the charge is necessary on a colloidal particles, and with the example of the colloidal particles which carries positive charge and negative charge. So the colloidal particles, the disperse phase particles are charged. They carry charge. They carry the same charge. Either all the disperse phase particles are positive in nature or negative in nature. Because if they will not have charge, they will accumulate and form the precipitate. No more colloidal solution will exist. So positive charge is shown by all the hydrated salt, means where the in formula of the disperse phase H2O is attached. For example, aluminium oxide hydrated salt like Al2O3 dot XH2O, Fe2O3 dot XH2O. So any kind of hydrated salt, they are positive in nature. Other than this hydrated salt, hemoglobin, blood, it is also a positive salt. And then your if we talk about the negative salt, all the metallic salts are negative in nature. Metallic means gold salt, silver salt, and all the sulfide salt also negative in nature. And organic salt, starch, gum, gelatin, glue, this all are negative in nature. So students, you have to remember that which are the salt which are positive and negative, because we will need further this information in this chapter. So positive salts are mainly hydrated, where the water molecule, water of crystallization is attached with the formula of disperse phase, and all other than that hemoglobin and some oxides.